Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's reading session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. We are going to read from the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, chapter 19, entitled Further Talks with Prakāśānanda. I request all of you to please hear attentively. Towards the end of the session, we will be having a quiz based on this chapter. Bhava is the transcendental ecstatic attachment for Krishna which results from perfectly understanding that the person Krishna and the name Krishna are identical. One who has attained bhava is certainly not contaminated by material nature. He enjoys transcendental pleasure from bhava. And when bhava is intensified, it is called love of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya told Prakāśānanda Saraswati that the holy name of Krishna, the Maha Mantra or great chant, enables one who chants it to attain the stage of love of Godhead or, or intensified bhava. Love of Godhead is the ultimate human necessity, for when one compares it with other necessities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, one can see that these others are most insignificant. When one is absorbed in temporary conditioned existence, he hankers after sense gratification and liberation. But love of Godhead is the eternal nature of the soul. It is unchangeable, without beginning or end. Therefore, neither temporary sense gratification nor liberation can compare with the transcendental nature of love of God. Love of God is the fifth and ultimate goal of human life. Compared with the ocean of transcendental pleasure, that is, love of God, the conception of impersonal Brahman is no more significant than a drop of water. Lord Chaitanya next explained that his spiritual master had confirmed the validity of the ecstasy he had felt from chanting the holy name of God, and he had also confirmed that the essence of all Vedic literature is the attainment of love of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master had said that the Lord was fortunate to have attained love of Godhead. The heart of one who attains such transcendental love becomes very anxious to attain direct contact with the Lord. Feeling such transcendental sentiment, one sometimes laughs, sometimes cries, sometimes sings, sometimes dances like a madman, and sometimes runs hither and thither. In this way, there are various ecstatic symptoms manifest: crying, changing bodily color, madness, bereavement, silence, pride, ecstasy, and gentleness. Often the person who has attained the love of God dances, and such dancing places him in the ocean of the nectar of love of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya said that his spiritual master told him, It is very good that you have attained such a perfectional stage of love of Godhead. Because of your attainment, I am very much obliged to you. The Father becomes enlivened when he sees his Son advance beyond himself. Similarly, the spiritual master takes more pleasure in seeing his disciple advance than in advancing himself. Thus, Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master blessed him, telling him, dance, sing, propagate this Sankirtana movement, and by instructing people about Krishna, try to deliver them from nescience. Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master also taught him the following very nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 40. एवं व्रत स्वप्रिय नाम कीर्त्या जातानुरागो धृतचित्त उच्चैः हसत्यथो रोदिति रौति गायति उन्मादवन् नृत्यति लोकबाह्यः. A person who constantly engages in devotional service to Krishna by chanting his holy name becomes so transcendently attached to the chanting that his heart becomes softened without extraneous endeavor. When this happens, he exhibits transcendental ecstasies by sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, sometimes singing, and sometimes dancing. Not exactly in an artistic way, but just like a madman. Lord Chaitanya further informed Prakāśānanda Saraswati, because I have full faith in my spiritual master's words, I always engage in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I do not know how I have become just like a madman, but I believe the name of Krishna has induced me. I have realized that the transcendental pleasure derived from chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is just like an ocean in comparison to which all other pleasures, including the pleasure of impersonal realization, are like the shallow water in canals. It appears from the talks of Lord Chaitanya that a person who cannot keep his words, sorry, a person who cannot keep his faith in the words of the spiritual master and who acts independently cannot attain the desired success in chanting Hare Krishna. In the Vedic literature, it is stated that the import of all transcendental literature is revealed to one who has unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and his spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya firmly believed in the statements of his spiritual master, and he never neglected the instructions of his spiritual master by stopping his Sankirtana movement. Thus, the transcendental potency of the holy name encouraged him more and more in chanting Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra. Lord Chaitanya next informed Prakāśānanda that in the modern age, people in general are more or less bereft of spiritual intellect. When such people come under the influence of Shankaracharya's Mayavada or impersonalist philosophy, before beginning the most confidential Vedanta Sutra, their natural tendency toward obedience to the Supreme is checked. The Supreme Source of everything is naturally respected by everyone, but this natural tendency is hampered when one takes to the impersonalist conceptions of Shankara. Thus, the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya suggested that it is better not to study the Shariraka Bhashya of Shankaracharya, for it is very harmful to people in general. Indeed, the common man does not even have the intelligence to penetrate into the jugglery of words. He is better advised to chant the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this quarrelsome age of Kali, there is no alternative for self realization. After hearing the arguments and talks of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Mayavadi sannyasis who were present became pacified and replied with sweet words. Dear sir, what you have spoken is all true. A person who attains love of Godhead is certainly very fortunate, and undoubtedly you are very fortunate to have attained this stage. But what is the fault in the Vedanta? It is the duty of a sannyasi to read and understand the Vedanta. Why do you not study it? According to Mayavadi philosophers, the Vedanta refers to the Shariraka commentary of Shankaracharya. When impersonalist philosophers refer to the Vedanta and Upanishads, they are actually referring to these works as understood through the commentaries of Shankaracharya, the greatest teacher of Mayavada philosophy. After Shankaracharya came Sadananda Yogindra, who claimed that the Vedanta and Upanishads should be understood through the commentaries of Shankaracharya. Factually, this is not so. There are many commentaries on the Vedanta and the Upanishads made by Vaishnava Acharyas, but these are preferred to those of Shankaracharya. But, and these are preferred to those of Shankaracharya. But the Mayavadi philosophers, influenced by Shankaracharya, do not attribute any importance to the Vaishnava understandings. There are four different sects of Vaishnava Acharyas, and each follows a different variation of personalism. Shuddhadvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaitadvaita, and Achintya Bheda Bheda. All the Vaishnava Acharyas in these schools have written commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, but the Mayavadi philosophers do not recognize them. The Mayavadis distinguish between Krishna and Krishna's body, and therefore they do not recognize the worship of Krishna by the Vaishnava philosophers. Thus, when the Mayavadi sannyasis asked Lord Chaitanya why he did not study the Vedanta Sutra, the Lord replied, Dear sirs, you have asked why I do not study the Vedanta, and in answer to this, I could speak something, but I am afraid you would be sorry to hear it. All the Mayavadi sannyasis replied, We shall be very much pleased to hear you because we see that you are just like Narayana, and your speeches are so nice that we are taking great pleasure in them. We are very much obliged to see and hear you. Therefore, we shall be very glad to hear patiently and accept whatever you say. The Lord then began to speak on Vedanta philosophy as follows. The Vedanta Sutra is spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself. The Supreme Lord, in His incarnation as Vyasadeva, has compiled this great philosophical treatise. Since Vyasadeva is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, he cannot be likened to an ordinary person who has the four defects which arise due to the contact with material existence. The defects of a conditioned soul are 1. He must commit mistakes. 2. He must be illusioned. 3. He must possess the tendency to cheat others. And 4. All his senses must be imperfect. We must understand that the incarnation of God is transcendental to all these defects. Thus, whatever has been spoken and written by Vyasadeva is considered to be perfect. The Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra aim at the same goal, the supreme absolute truth. When we accept the direct import of the Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads, that is glorious. But the commentaries made by Shankaracharya are indirect and are thus very dangerous for the common man to read. For by understanding the import of the Upanishads in such an indirect, disruptive way, one practically bars himself from spiritual realization. According to the Skanda and Vayu Puranas, the word sutra refers to a condensed work which carries meaning and import of immeasurable strength without any mistake or fault. The word Vedanta means the end of Vedic knowledge. In other words, any book which reveals in other words, any book which deals with the subject matter indicated by all the Vedas is called Vedanta. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is Vedanta because in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that the ultimate goal of all Vedic research is Krishna. Thus, one should understand that the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which aim only at Krishna, are Vedanta. In transcendental realization, there are three divisions of knowledge called Prasthanatraya. That department of knowledge which is proved by Vedic instruction, like the Upanishads, is called Shruti Prasthana. Authoritative books indicating the ultimate goal and written by liberated souls like Vyasadeva, for example, the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahapurana, are called Smriti Prasthana. From the Vedic literature, we understand that the Vedas originated from the breathing of Narayana. Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of the power of Narayana, compiled the Vedanta Sutra, Nyaya Prasthana. But according to Shankara's commentaries, Apanantaratma Rishi is also sometimes credited with having compiled the aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra. According to Lord Chaitanya, the conclusions of the verses of the Pancharatra and the aphorisms of the Vedanta are one and the same. Since the Vedanta Sutra is compiled by Vyasadeva, it should be understood to be spoken by Narayana himself. From all the descriptive literature dealing with the Vedanta Sutra, it appears that there are many other rishis contemporary with Vyasadeva who also discussed the Vedanta Sutra. These sages were Atreya, Ashmarathya, Auduloma, Audulomi, Karshnajini, Kashakritsna, Jaimini, and Badari, while other sages such as Parashari and Karmandi discussed the Vedanta before Vyasadeva. In the first two chapters of the Vedanta Sutra, the relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Lord is explained. And in the third chapter, the discharge of devotional service is explained. The fourth chapter deals with the result of discharging devotional service. The natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. The great acharyas of the four Vaishnava communities or sampradayas, namely Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, and Nimbarka, have also written commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra by following the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam. The followers of these acharyas, down to the present day, have written many books following the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam and accepted it as the natural commentary on the Vedanta. Shankara's commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, known as Shariraka Bhashya, is very much adored by the impersonalist scholars, but such materialistic commentaries are completely adverse to the transcendental service of the Lord. Consequently, Lord Chaitanya said that direct commentaries on the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra are glorious, but that anyone who follows the indirect path of Shankaracharya's Shariraka Bhashya is certainly doomed. Lord Chaitanya admitted that Shankaracharya was an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and it is known that Lord Shiva is one of the greatest devotees, a Mahajana of the Bhagavata school. There are 12 Mahajanas, great authorities on devotional service, and Lord Shiva is one of them. Why then did he adopt the process of Mayavada philosophy? The answer is given in the Shiva Purana, where the Supreme Lord tells Shiva, Dvaparadav yuge bhutva kalaya manishadishu swagamaihi kalpitaistvam cha janan mad vimukhan kuru. In the beginning of Kali Yuga, by my order, bewilder the people in general with Mayavada philosophy. In the Padma Purana, Lord Shiva tells his wife Bhagavati Devi, Mayavadam asat shastram prachannam bauddham uchyate mayaiva kalpitam devi kalau brahmana rupina. Brahmanas chaparam rupam nirgunam vakshyate maya sarvasvam jagatopyasya mohanartham kalau yuge. Vedante tu mahashastre mayavadam avaidikam mayaiva vakshyate devi jagatam nashakaranat. The Mayavada philosophy is veiled Buddhism. In other words, the voidist philosophy of Buddha is more or less repeated in the Mayavada philosophy of impersonalism, although the Mayavadi philosophers claim to be directed by the Vedic conclusions. As a Brahmana boy, I manufacture this philosophy in the age of Kali to mislead the atheists. Actually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has his transcendental body, but I describe the Supreme as impersonal. I also explain the Vedanta Sutra according to the same principles of Mayavada philosophy. Lord Shiva continues speaking to Bhagavati Devi as follows. Shrunu Devi pravakshyami तामसानि यथाक्रमं येषां श्रवणमात्रेण पातित्यं ज्ञानिनाम् अपि अपार्थं वाक्यानां दर्शयल्लोकगर्हितं कर्मस्वरूप त्याज्यत्वम् अत्र च प्रतिपद्यते सर्वकर्म परिभ्रंशान् नैष्कर्म्यं तत्र चोच्यते परात्मजीवयोरैक्यं मयात्र apratipadyate. My dear Devi, sometimes I teach Mayavada philosophy for those who are engrossed in the mode of ignorance. But anyone in the mode of goodness who happens to hear this Mayavada philosophy falls down. For when I teach Mayavada philosophy, I say that the living entity and the Supreme Lord are one and the same. Sadananda Yogindra, one of the greatest Mayavadi acharyas, has written in his book Vedanta Sara, the absolute truth of eternity, knowledge, and bliss is Brahman. Ignorance and all products of ignorance are non Brahman. All products of the three modes of material nature are covered by ignorance, and all are different from the supreme cause and effect. This ignorance is manifested in a collective and individual sense. Collective ignorance is called Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. When that Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana is manifested within the ignorance of material nature, it is called the Lord, and the Lord manifests all kinds of ignorance. Therefore, he is known as Sarvajna. Thus, according to Mayavada philosophy, the Lord is a product of this material nature, and the living entity is in the lowest stage of ignorance. That is the sum and substance of Mayavada philosophy. If, however, we accept the import of the Upanishads directly, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a person with unlimited potency. For example, in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is stated, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the origin of everything, and he has multiple potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to the cosmic manifestation. He is the origin of all religion, the supreme deliverer, and the possessor of all opulences. I understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be just like the sun, profusely distributing his energies while situated beyond the cloud of this material cosmic manifestation. He is the master of all masters, and he is the supreme of supremes. He is known as the greatest Lord, the personality of Godhead. His multiple potencies are variously distributed. Also in the Rig Veda 1.22.20 states that Vishnu is the supreme and that saintly persons are always anxious to see his lotus feet. And in the Aitareya Upanishad, it is stated that the cosmic manifestation came about when the Lord glanced over material nature. This is confirmed by the Prashna Upanishad. The negative descriptions of the Lord which occur in the Vedic literature, such as Apani Padaha, the Lord has no hands or feet, indicate that the Lord has no material body and no material form. But he does have his spiritual transcendental body and his transcendental form. Beyond the Mayavadi philosophers, because the Mayavadi philosophers misunderstand his transcendental nature, they explain him as impersonal. The Lord's name, form, qualities, entourage, and abode are all in the transcendental world. How can he be a transformation of this material nature? Everything connected with the Supreme Lord is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. In effect, Shankaracharya preached Mayavada philosophy to bewilder a certain type of atheist. Actually, he never considered the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, to be impersonal, without body or form. It is best for intelligent persons to avoid lectures on Mayavada philosophy. We should understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is not impersonal. He is a transcendental person, and the basic principle of the cosmic manifestation is his energy. Mayavada philosophy cannot trace the energy of the Supreme Lord back to its source, but all Vedic literatures give evidence of the Supreme Lord's various energetic manifestations. Vishnu is not a product of material nature, but material nature is a product of Vishnu's potency. The Mayavadi philosophers understand Vishnu to be product of material nature, but if Vishnu is a product of material nature, he can only be counted among the demigods. He can only be counted among the demigods. One who considers Vishnu to be a demigod is certainly mistaken and misled. How this is so is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verses 13 and 14. Deluded by the three modes of material nature, the whole world does not know me, who am above the material nature and inexhaustible. My material nature is so powerful that it is very difficult to surpass its spell, even for the greatest scholar. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Thus ends chapter 19 of Teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the matter of further talks with Prakāśānanda. So now we have read the entire chapter. We will have a simple quiz based on what we read and heard now. Whoever knows the answer can unmute and attempt to answer the question. So here is your first question. When bhava is intensified, what is it called?
Love of Godhead.
Prema,
Yes,
love of God.
Mataji. Love of Godhead. Love of Godhead is the right answer. Next question. According to this chapter, what enables one to attain love of Godhead? The answer is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra enables one to attain love of Godhead. Next question. Compared to the ocean of transcendental love, the impersonal Brahman conception is compared to what?
Shallow water in the river.
Shallow water in the river? No, that is a different analogy.
Water contained in the hoof of the calf.
That was never mentioned in this chapter.
What?
That is a different analogy.
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
The
drop of
answer is
drop
yes,
of
Amrit is right.
drop.
Drop of water is the right answer. So the pleasure, transcendental pleasure derived by a devotee by serving Krishna is compared to an ocean, and the impersonal Brahman conception or Brahmananda, the joy of merging into Brahma Jyoti, is compared to a drop of water. Okay, the next question. Whose words confirmed Lord Chaitanya's ecstatic attainment? When
Spiritual
Chaitanya
love.
Mahaprabhu started chanting, he
Spiritual.
experienced ecstasy, and who confirmed his ecstasy?
His spiritual master.
Master.
Ishwar Prabhu.
Yes. Yes, his spiritual master, Ishwara Puri, is the right answer. Okay, the next question. What did Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master encourage him to do?
Singing,
Continue
dancing,
Sankirtan, Prabhu.
Yes,
dancing,
Abhishek?
singing.
Continue Sankirtana.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yes. Both of you are right. His spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, encouraged him to sing, dance, and also teach and propagate Sankirtana. Okay, the next question. What attitude did Lord Chaitanya have towards his guru's instructions about chanting? What was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attitude towards his guru's instructions about chanting? The answer is he followed them with full faith.
Faith.
So faith is the answer. Okay, the last question. What is the interpretation of Vedanta Sutras by Shankaracharya called as?
Sharika Bhasya.
Kabash.
Yes, Shariraka Bhashya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warns that it is very harmful for common people. It does not help one attain devotional service to Krishna. Therefore, one should avoid reading or hearing Sharirika Bhashya or impersonal explanations of Vedanta Sutra.
Prabhu, I
Thank you
have
so
one
much for
question.
joining.
Prabhu, I have one question.
Yeah,
Prabhu, while reading in mobile, which website we need to see for this chapter? Because in
Prabhu.
Prabhupada books.com, there is much difference what you are reading and what I am following. It is confusing most of the time. That's why.
Okay. So I am following Gita Base app. In
Gita
the app,
base map.
Gita Base app. Yes.
Okay. You told here Shiva Purana, and here they are telling Padma Purana. From the beginning, so much of confusion. That's why I thought I'll ask you. Okay. That app,
PrabhupadaBooks.com have
yeah.
the original books.
There only
Let
I'm
me
reading.
let me check. Let me check. Gita Base is also having pre-1977 books that I was referring to.
That introduction, it was totally different. I'm not, when you were reading, I'm not able to see at all in this book. So I thought I will ask you. Okay, bro.
I will share the.
Yeah, that is better, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
Thank you very much for joining, and we shall meet in the next session and continue our reading. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Hare Krishna.